Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You reach for your phone, just like you do every single day. But this time, something feels different. You look at your current iPhone, the one you probably paid a lot of money for, and suddenly, it feels ancient. It doesn't feel old because it is broken or slow. It feels old because Apple has just revealed something so advanced that every smartphone we have used for the last decade looks like a prototype. That is the feeling people are expecting when the iPhone 18 Pro Max finally drops. We aren't just talking about a slightly better camera or a faster processor. We're talking about a complete shift in how you live your life. This device is shaping up to be the turning point where technology stops being a tool you have to manage and starts being a partner that actually understands you. If you have ever felt overwhelmed by notifications, annoyed by battery life, or disappointed by a grainy photo, this is the future you have been waiting for. Let's talk about the first thing you notice, the display. For years, we have been looking at screens that just look like screens. They have glare. They get washed out in the sun. They hurt your eyes after a few hours. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to change that fundamental experience. Rumors suggest a next-generation display that is not just brighter, but significantly smarter. Imagine standing outside under the bright midday sun. Usually, you would have to squint or shade the screen with your hand just to read a text. With this new technology, the screen is expected to look almost like printed glass. It won't fight the sun. It will adapt to it. The glare vanishes. The text pops as if it is printed on a physical page. But it goes deeper than just brightness. This screen is learning from you. It changes based on what you are doing. If you're watching a movie, it shifts to cinema-grade color accuracy. If you're playing a game, the refresh rates smooth out instantly. If you're reading an article in bed at night, the contrast softens and the tones warm up to protect your sleep cycle. Over time, the display learns your specific habits, tuning itself so it looks perfect specifically for your eyes. Behind that incredible screen is the brain of the operation. We have all heard about faster chips. Every year, companies promise more speed. But raw speed isn't the problem anymore. Our phones are already fast. The problem is that they aren't smart enough. The new chip in the iPhone 18 Pro Max is designed entirely around artificial intelligence and machine learning. This means your phone stops just responding to your taps and starts anticipating your needs. Think about your morning routine right now. You wake up, unlock your phone, and you are immediately bombarded. You have 20 unread emails, 5 text messages, and a dozen app notifications all screaming for attention. It is chaotic. It is stressful. It is a bad way to start the day. Now, imagine the iPhone 18 Pro Max scenario. You wake up and look at your screen. There's no chaos. Instead, there's a smart summary. The on-device AI has already scanned everything while you were asleep. It shows you the 3 messages that actually matter. It highlights the 1 email you cannot miss. It gives you a quick snapshot of the weather in your first meeting. It even gently reminds you about that one task you always forget on Tuesdays. It filters out the noise so you can focus on the signal. This power extends to everywhere you go, even when you are off the grid. This is a huge deal for anyone who travels. Usually, when you're on a plane with no Wi-Fi, your smartphone becomes pretty dumb. It can't translate. It can't summarize. Siri barely works. The iPhone 18 Pro Max changes the game because this intelligence lives on the chip, not in the cloud. You could be 30,000 feet in the air, completely disconnected from the internet, and still get work done. You could have the phone summarize a 50-page document in seconds. You could translate a conversation in real time without lag. You could dictate voice notes that the phone instantly transcribes and organizes into a neat text document. You could even perform complex photo edits that usually require a server connection. It is faster because it doesn't have to talk to the cloud. It is more private because your data stays on the device. And it is reliable because it works everywhere. Now, let's talk about the camera. For a lot of us, the cam era is the only reason we upgrade. We all know the pain of trying to take a picture at a concert. You are far back from a stage. You try to zoom in. The result is a grainy, blurry mess that looks awful. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to solve this with a long-range periscope zoom and much larger sensors. The goal is to make a zoomed-in photo look just as sharp and detailed as a standard shot. You could be sitting in the cheap seats and still capture a photo of the singer that looks professional. But hardware is only half the story. The real magic is in the image processing. This phone understands context. If you're taking a picture of a city skyline at night, the AI knows it needs to sharpen the buildings and define the lights without introducing noise. If you're taking a picture of a friend in a dimly lit bar, it knows that the priority is their face and skin tone, not the background bottles. It balances the image based on what the subject actually is. Video is another area where things are getting wild. Imagine walking down the street, recording a vlog, or just capturing a memory. Usually, unless you have a steady hand or a gimbal, that footage is going to be shaky. The iPhone 18 Pro Max brings AI-enhanced stabilization that makes handheld footage look like it was shot on a track. We're talking about potential 8K video capabilities with dynamic depth of field. This means the phone can keep your subject perfectly in focus while blurring the background cinematically, just like a professional movie camera. And it does this in real time. There are even rumors that you might be able to change the focus, the angle, or the lighting after you have finished recording. Because the camera captures so much depth, data, and information in every frame, editing becomes like rewriting reality. You aren't just trimming clips, you are adjusting the fundamental look of the moment. Of course, none of this matters if the phone is dead. Battery life is the thing we all ignore until we are at 5% and panicking. We end up bargaining with our phones, turning down brightness, closing apps, just hoping it lasts until we get home. Apple isn't just going to solve this by making the battery bigger, though that helps. They are solving it with intelligence. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to feature AI-driven power management. It studies how you use your phone. It learns that you never use social media apps between 9 a.m. and 11 a.m., so it cuts their background power completely during those hours. It learns that you always charge your phone at 10 p.m., so it optimizes the charging speed to protect the battery health long-term. Combined with more efficient chips and faster charging, this phone becomes an all-day beast, and it becomes a power hub for your other devices. The reverse wireless charging is expected to get a massive boost, letting you quickly top up your AirPods or your Apple Watch just by placing them on the back of your phone. This ties into the broader ecosystem. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is designed to be the true center of your digital life. It is not just a screen you look at. It is a remote control for your world. Imagine walking up to your front door. You don't fumble for keys. You don't even open an app. The phone communicates with your smart lock and opens the door. You walk inside, and the lights adjust automatically to your preferred brightness because the phone knows you are home. You sit down on your couch, and your Apple TV queues up the show you are likely going to watch. You sit at your desk, and your Mac unlocks instantly. It keeps your health data from your Apple Watch synced in real time without you ever hitting a refresh button. It is seamless. It is the kind of technology that feels like magic because it just works without you having to ask. We also have to talk about the assistant. For years, Siri has been okay, but okay isn't enough anymore. Apple is pushing deep into personal intelligence. They want to give you an assistant that genuinely understands your life. You shouldn't have to speak in robot commands. You should be able to say, "Plan my week." The iPhone 18 Pro Max won't just open the calendar app. It will analyze your emails for upcoming deadlines. It will look at your to-do list. It will even consider your typical energy levels. It might schedule your heavy meetings in the morning when you are sharpest. It might block out focus time in the afternoon when you are usually distracted. It might schedule breaks when it knows you usually burn out. You could say, "Summarize my day," and it would calmly tell you what you accomplished, what you missed, and what is sneaking up on you tomorrow. It acts like a real executive assistant. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds amazing, but what about my privacy? It is a valid fear. The more your phone knows about you, the more powerful it becomes, but also the scarier it feels. If that data leaked, it would be a disaster. Apple knows this. That is why the core philosophy of the iPhone 18 Pro Max is on-device intelligence. They're selling privacy as a luxury feature. The idea is that the phone learns your patterns, your preferences, and your secrets, but that information never leaves the physical device in your hand. The voice recognition is tailored to you and processed locally. The personal recommendations are generated by the chip, not a server in a data center. The photo analysis that lets you search for dog on the beach happens right there on your storage. No one is scanning your life. You get all the benefits of a super intelligent AI without the creepy feeling of being watched by a corporation. Let's look at the physical design. Apple is expected to refine the hardware to match this internal power. We are likely looking at a slimmer, lighter body, possibly using advanced titanium composites that are stronger than steel but much lighter. They want to make the device tough enough to resist daily wear and tear without needing a bulky case. The bezels, the black borders around the screen, are expected to shrink until they're almost invisible. You're mostly just holding a pure screen. The camera module on the back might be redesigned to be more seamless, so it doesn't wobble when you put it on a table. Water resistance is expected to take a leap forward, making accidental drops in the sink or rain showers completely non-events. And there's a lot of talk about solid-state buttons. These are buttons that don't physically move. Instead, they use haptic motors to give you a little vibration that feels like a click. This means there are fewer mechanical parts to break and fewer holes for water to get in. Biometric security is also getting an upgrade. Face ID could become so fast that it feels invisible. You just raise the phone, and it is unlocked before you even look at it. There are even rumors of Touch ID returning as a fingerprint sensor under the display, giving you a flexible second option. So, what does a normal day actually look like with this device? Let's walk through it. You wake up to an alarm that isn't a jarring noise, but a sound tuned to how you usually wake up. You pick up the phone, and instead of a messy list of notifications, you see a calm, curated lock screen. You ask the phone, "What am I doing today?" It replies with a clear breakdown of your schedule and the 2 or 3 tasks you absolutely must finish. You get on the train or in your car for your commute. Your phone quietly flags a message from your boss, but ignores the spam emails and the group chat memes. You arrive at a noisy coffee shop to take a video call. The AI isolates your voice, completely removing the sound of the espresso machine in the background, and adjusts your video so you look perfectly lit, even if you're sitting in a dark corner. Later, you go to dinner. You take a low-light photo of the food or your friends. You don't mess with exposure or night mode settings. You just tap the button, and it looks cinematic. Before you go to sleep, you simply say, "Summarize today and plan tomorrow." The phone reorganizes your to-do list, moves the unfinished tasks to the next day, and turns 50 unread emails into 3 action items. You go to sleep feeling organized and in control. That is the true promise of the iPhone 18 Pro Max. When it launches, the skeptics will say it looks similar to last year's phone. They will argue about megapixels and gigahertz. But those people are missing the point. The real change isn't in the spec sheet. The real change is in how much stress the device can remove from your life. The question isn't, is it faster? The question is, does it give me more time? Does it give me more focus? Does it give me more control in a world that feels overwhelming? Technology is supposed to serve you, not just impress you. This device aims to be a turning point where the phone stops being a distraction and starts being a support system. It shows you less of what you don't need and more of what actually matters. It organizes your chaos. It captures your memories perfectly, and it keeps your secrets safe. If you like the video, subscribe, share the video, and hit the bell icon. In my opinion, if Apple delivers even half of these expected features, the iPhone 18 Pro Max won't just be an upgrade. It will be the gold standard for what a personal computer should be in the modern age. It is the device that finally fulfills the promise of the smartphone, making us smarter, not just more connected.